Good afternoon. Hey, Janik, we're back.
Hey, how's it going, John? Hey,
guys. It's doing good. Well, we are, again, not Jim this month to bring you the new August packet products. Jim's at the St. Louis RPM. If you've been following any of Atherin's social media, you're probably seeing posts. He's finding some cool models that folks have done out there, and of course, he's showing off our new stuff as well.
Yeah, I'm sad I couldn't make it there, but it looks like it's a great show so far. He's got the new Dash 9s on display, a whole bunch of other cool stuff. But we're here today to go over the new announcements this month, right? And we've already kind of talked about some of them, I know.
Yeah, let's dive in there, and if folks miss something, they can come back to YouTube and watch it later. All right. So these are August packets. You want to talk to your retailers. If there's anything here you want to order, the order due date is going to be the 27th of August. So order early, order often, as they say.
Yeah, it's not like voting.
Yeah. So the big news is we're going to do a second run of P42s. This is
looks like we got those 50th anniversary schemes, huh?
Yeah, we actually sneak peeked them a couple days ago on an Amtrak themed presentation, but here they are again. When Amtrak announced these, the first run was already well into production, and we couldn't add them. So this was kind of a last minute addition to the year that we decided to bring these in as soon as we could. Amtrak, for the folks that didn't know it, has offered 5 special edition paint liveries for the P42s. This first one we're looking at is the Phase 5. Mm-hmm. Because a lot of these are really, really new paint schemes, there hasn't been a lot of photographs of them out in the wild yet. So the artwork is still kind of a placeholder. We're going to verify all the details that are on the locomotives, make sure they have the right features, and match them up with the unit numbers here. So you may see some missing details in our artwork, but don't worry, we're going to get those.
Well, and funnily enough, some of these haven't even been painted in real life yet.
That's true, yeah.
We're announcing them with the concept art, and once the real ones do get painted, we'll make sure and give them all the appropriate details for when they get repainted, as far as antennas and noses and whatnot.
Yeah. So this one, Phase 5, is out there. This is the classic Amtrak Phase 5 with the Connecting America for 50-year logo on it. The next locomotive, I think, might be one of my favorites, the Midnight Blue. That's to honor all the Amtrak employees that work through the night to keep the trains running. It's just a beautiful blue with white and red accents, kind of like our Genesis boxes, actually.
They should have put a Genesis logo on it.
Yeah. So this is unit number 100. This, again, is also out there running around pulling trains already. The next two, the Phase 1 and the Dash 8, Phase 3. So Phase 1 is actually going to be unit number 161, and that one is to replace unit number 156 that was wrecked. That was in this original Phase 1 paint scheme. So it's nice to see them bringing back. This is a really sharp locomotive.
That'll be nice to see. Those things have taken a beating since they were released 10 years ago.
Yeah. And I understand this one is painted, but it's still in the paint booth. So,
okay. So now
we'll probably see this one out shortly, see some nice photos of it. But nice. Yeah, so that one got painted, I think, this week is what I heard. The next one, the Dash 8 Phase 3, that's that Cola Special.
The Pepsi can, yeah. That's a nice one.
Yeah, that came out with the B32-8s. And we did it recently as a legendary livery with the ES44. I bet you Amtrak probably saw those and said, that's a sharp paint scheme. We should use that again.
I think that's exactly how it happened.
Yep. That one hasn't been painted yet, so we're waiting to see that one in the wild. Make sure all the stripes go in the right places and all the extra details. But looking forward to seeing that one.
Yeah, and those of you that are asking if they'll have bolt-on noses, I haven't looked at these yet, but rest assured that whatever the units have, once they get repainted, bolt-on noses, probably that's what the models are going to have.
Yeah. And then the last one here is the Phase 6, which is Amtrak's newest paint scheme using the classic Amtrak red, white, and blue in a very stylized fashion. This one also was painted this week. So there's 2 new units that are going to be coming out and hitting the road.
That red nose really stands out. Hopefully they paint more engines in that scheme going forward.
Yeah, as they're due for paint, I'm sure they will. It'll be interesting to see how they stylize the Amtrak logo on the side, if they make any changes for the normal units.
Yeah, they may. I mean, this is just concept art again. You know, people are asking some questions about how they're going to look. We don't know specifically, at least for the 160. We do know how this one's going to look, and our models are going to match it, whatever the real one looks like.
Yeah, and like unit numbers, when we put together this concept art, we didn't know which locomotives these were going to be. They were kind of based on whatever hit the paint booth first, and they had the masks ready. So rest assured, we're going to get all these correct with the unit numbers on the side if they're there, and all the additional details. So that's cool. That's going to be 5 really awesome additions here.
Nice. We got anything else coming besides the heritage units?
One thing I want to note, because some people have been asking about it, and I see we slipped it in the packet. A lot of people keep asking about those VIA P42s. It's my understanding right now the lawyers are talking. So we're all ready to go with them, but we need to make sure we have all the agreements in place before we can offer those. And as soon as we do, we'll get them out there for folks to place orders on. But
yeah, I mean, understandably so. They're pretty protective of their intellectual property. They want to make sure that we are using it in good faith, using it accurately. And I'm sure you guys want that as well. You know, that benefits everybody. So.
Yeah, like these units, we're working in cooperation with Amtrak directly, and these are Amtrak licensed locomotives. So the same will apply for basically everything we do. We want to respect those intellectual property rights.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. So that's exciting. I'll try to move as fast as I can here. And like the first run, these things are going to be bricks. They're going to pull. Yeah. All right. Second run, or second offering here is the 33,000-gallon liquid propane gas tank cars. I love these tank cars. I see them come through town all the time. Very accurate to the modern era layouts. You can certainly see these by themselves or with a few running together.
Yeah, it seems like we can never make enough of these cars. And the cool thing is, and I can't see it right now because the picture's too small, but I know we did some anhydrous ammonia cars as well as some LPG cars. So depending on what industry you have on your layout, you can pick up the cars that are lettered correctly for that. We have the different body styles as well, with the flat panel, which came in the middle, and then the late style body with the offset ladders.
Yeah, there's lots of great variation there. And they're still out there running all 3 styles. So you got the Union tank car in 2 versions, the Green Beer Leasing, the Andrews Company, and then Procore.
Procore, yeah.
I know white is everyone's favorite to weather.
Man, I don't know if you've ever weathered a tank car, but it is not easy. I might just pay people to do that for me going forward because it's a real pain.
Yeah. Well, these Genesis cars are beautiful. I'm sure people are hesitant to apply some weathering to them, but maybe we should do a prime for grime next time.
Maybe, yeah. All right, and then of course we got singles and 3-packs, and the 3-packs different numbers too. So you got 5 numbers unique for each paint scheme. That's enough to make a decent sized train, definitely.
Yeah. And if we've ever offered these road names before, of course these are going to be different road numbers than those. So if you already have a few and want some new numbers, here's your chance. Rtr Sd 38s. These are cool locomotives. They have definitely been passed around. Looking through all the road names we're going to offer for this release, we've definitely gone out and picked some more of the unique road names. Some of these we've never done before. Some of these railroads we've never offered before. They're very eye-catching, like the Reading and Northern. 2 versions here, their typical paint scheme, and then the 20th anniversary. And I understand.
I know we did Reading and Northern a while ago. It's been a long time for Reading and Northern.
Yeah, the green yellow is sharp. I understand these, besides pulling freight duty, they also pull some excursion trains. So if you have some private varnish, here you go. Here's some power for you.
Yeah, well, it's interesting too. You got an ex-Conrail unit, the number 2000. You got an ex-DT&I unit, the 2003. So those have different details between them, even though they're in a similar paint scheme.
Yeah, and these were repainted in early 2000s. So, yeah. Can't forget the Grand Trunk and Western. Grand Trunk Western, sorry. 2 paint schemes here, the blue and white and red repaint, and then the DT&I patch.
Yeah, that's cool.
Those were, I guess those lasted a long time, and what I love about these is they've got that nose gong on them. So I understand our sound file for these, if you're picking up the DCC sound, is going to have the correct gong on it.
Yeah, that's recorded from the actual thing too. We actually had a gong bell, and someone just hit it with a hammer. And but yeah, that's a cool feature. I mean, usually people think of CNW when they think of the gong bell, but a couple of other railroads, ITC and DT&I, also had them.
Yeah. Cool.
So those are going to be sweet. You can mix up the GPW orange, mix it up with the orange and blue, and have a neat looking set.
Yeah, and I like those spark arresters on 6252. They're the Y spark arresters.
Yeah, good stuff. That's a good prime for grind unit. That's gonna, have the faded colors, the patches, just like the real one does, or did, I should say.
Yeah. All right. Bessemer and Lake Erie. These guys pulled iron, lots of it.
And these are the modern versions. These have ditch lights, yellow frames. So last time we did Bessemer, I think it was the earlier versions. So these will be great for later era guys, as well as CN guys. Use them as power on there.
Yeah, I think the previously one were the oil bath air filters, where these are the paper filters. So we have different tooling, so we can actually accomplish both here. And these also have that cool gyro light up in the top of the number board lights. The top light was a gyro light, the bottom was a steady.
Oh yeah, nice. That's a cool feature.
Mm-hmm.
With the LEDs, that's going to look really good.
Yeah. Don't need them. Might have to have some.
So here's one that's sort of not what you usually think of for a road name, but man, that looks sharp with the red and black and the white.
Yeah, I hadn't heard of the Cnw rail service before, and looked them up, and they're a Canadian can-do, I guess.
Can-do rail services, yeah.
Operate several short lines and I guess contract switching for industries.
Okay. So you
So
could
there's
have
2
these
units
parked
here.
over by your grain elevator
Mm-hmm.
or your large industry. Use them as plant switchers.
Yeah. 2 units. One's an ex-Bessemer in Lake Erie, and then the other is an ex-DMIR, or dimmer, as I like to call them. The dimmer unit's got the short fuel tank and the large toolbox, which is cool.
Yeah, that is neat. They tooled that part specifically for DMIR. It's a really neat part. It's got the re-rail frog. It's got a couple tool details on it. That's a neat part.
Yeah.
Somebody was asking if this tooling is the same as the old Rail Power Products SC38. This is a brand new tooling based on the SD40 that came out in 2011. The amount of features and railroad specific details that we can do on this is way beyond the old Rail Power Products tooling. Not only that, but just the mold work is a lot finer too. If you look at the hood doors and the grills, in my opinion, it's a lot better on these. I don't know if you've seen them, John. But
I haven't seen them up close, but I know I've seen some photos, like the knuckle buster latches on these are back when those original offerings were made. It was very rudimentary, but now it really looks like you can go in there and open up the door.
Maybe someday on these, but not yet. Now I've got the Conrail.
And if we're talking 38s, we can't forget the Conrail. Both of these are the quality logo, although
Okay.
the 2 different offerings are going to be different sizes of the logo. So 6939 here is the small logo, and then we're also offering 6953 with the large Q logo.
Cool.
And what I'm told is these originally were slug mothers for a hump yard service, but then they found their way out on the line and were basically everywhere.
I've seen some cool videos of them pulling local freights. One unit in Conrail blue with an NS patch, one unit in full NS paint. And you just hear them chugging up this hill. It sounds pretty incredible.
Yeah. Well, you said NS paint.
I did.
We're not doing NS paint, but we're doing NS patching.
Oh, cool.
So here's the same two locomotives, well, same offering, but in a prime for grime variation. One with the white patch, one with the black patch. Everything, the blue's kind of toned down. You've got some class light patches there.
So era 2009. So these things were around for a while under NS ownership. That's pretty neat.
Mm-hmm. I think by the time they got ownership of these, they were basically switchers at that point. And then the last offering is Detroit, Toledo, and Ironton.
DP&I. You got that prime for grind unit number 250. That's pretty interesting.
Yeah. So all three, a little bit different on them. The prime for grind is going to have those unique spark arresters. That's a little bit different than the other two options.
Yeah, the beehives. Those are cool.
And these are the newer versions with the paper air filters also.
Yeah, because when we did these last time, I think it was the as delivered version.
Mm-hmm.
And those got replaced with these paper air filters.
Yeah. So if you want a shiny 38 with a nose gong, you've got two options here, and a rust bucket, as Jim likes to say.
Yeah. Cool. Well, that's a good variety of SD38s. I mean, that covers almost all the owners, other than like Penn Central or something. So very cool.
All right. Let's see. Moving on down the list. And all these offerings are already up online, so folks can find them. All right, Janet.
59 PHIs. All right.
We needed some power for those Surfliner cars.
I think we hinted at this one a little bit with the Surfliners.
Yeah, so those top units are going to be a basic match for the Surfliner cars we offered right away. And the B-Track Smart, that is a cool livery there. Very colorful.
Yeah. Well, and it was around for the better part of 4 years like that, which for a wrap, just a vinyl wrap, that's a pretty long time. So that engine also is going to look great with the Surfliners, and I'll probably have to pick it up as well as one of the other ones. I've already got one unit, so I always need more.
And these are in the RTR line. I just see folks asking, any chance of these moving up to the Genesis line? The answer is yes, eventually. These are definitely older tooling, and it's not a simple upgrade to bring this body style into something that that customers would accept as a Genesis quality. So I think it's going to be almost a ground up build.
Yeah. Yeah, I was talking to John about it. The tooling is a little bit weak. It would probably be a ground up thing. We got to do versions without the skirts, do like a full underbody detail, work on the roof detail as well.
Yeah, but definitely on our radar as we move into these high-end passenger cars. It would be good to have some high-end locomotives for it. So if you've placed orders for the Surfliner cars, you'll probably want to get these, because it's going to be a while before you see some Genesis versions of this. And we don't want those Surfliner cars sitting on the shelf. We need them on the layout.
Or just get a Genesis P42. That'll work.
Yeah, absolutely. Those 50th anniversary units, I'm sure, are making the rounds, so they'll be everywhere.
Hey, John, real quick, someone was asking about the striping on the Surfliner units, how it was different than previous runs. We actually went in and reworked the profile of the stripes. The angle wasn't quite correct, front to back. And so we went back and we basically redid it. And so now it should be a perfect match for those Surfliner cars. Quite a noticeable improvement over previous runs that we did.
That's great. Yeah. I've had a lot of folks reach out after we've shown new products and say, hey, your artwork isn't quite right. The logo should be shifted over a little bit, or did you get the color right? And we're always making those changes after we've even announced them, because it's not like these are in the paint booth right now over at the factory.
Yeah.
We have a little bit of time so we can make those corrections. So if you find anything glaringly, obviously wrong, definitely let us know, and we'll make the change. And we've even actually made changes to artwork after the products are already been released. So that's in our records for when we look at it again the next time, that we can get those upgrades to it and get it more accurate than the first time around.
Yeah, that's a good point. We always want to try and improve the art if we can, if we have the information.
Yeah. Well, here's another California F59.
Oh yeah, that's the early CDTX scheme. I actually, for the longest time, didn't know there were two paint schemes, but they lasted like that for quite some time. And you have to wonder, if we're going to announce this paint scheme, are we going to see the cars to go with it somewhere down the road? I don't know, maybe. It seems possible.
Yeah, seems like a smart thing to do.
Yeah, I think it would be. Yeah.
Do you think folks should hedge their bets and maybe pick one of these up?
I know I'm going to. I was actually I was in Hanford a couple weeks ago picking up my wife, and I saw one of these things. They're still running around. Who knows for how much longer? All the Surfline units are gone, but these California units are still running around. It was cool to see one.
Yeah. And here we have a photo by someone named Janik Bringle.
Some hack photographer, man. Jeez.
Some private varnish there up front. Or is that the back? Are we in push-pull?
So that's an Oceano, which is a little bit south of San Luis Obispo, and that was during the Del Mar season. So they were just running these huge trains with one F59 on each end. It was pretty cool to see.
All right. And these two officially licensed by Amtrak. Well, here's something you don't see every day. The Rtr Cnw unit. That is a sharp-looking locomotive there.
That's nice. Yeah. I remember the first time I saw that, I was like, man, they really did a great job matching the lines of the F59 to that paint scheme.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure that wasn't easy.
Metra's been going back and doing several respects to their previous railroads that operated. And I see we've got a legendary livery of the Milwaukee Road here. Now, can you speak a little bit about why this is a legendary livery?
Sure. Yeah, the Milwaukee unit, and once we get to the Rock Island unit, those are actually applied to power. I think they're MP36 units in real life. We don't have an MP36 yet, although we have gotten plenty of requests for one. But since those schemes haven't been offered yet at all, we just thought it'd be nice to offer them here. They do look really sharp on these units anyway. The lines are similar. You got the Milwaukee with the orange and brown, the Rock Island red and yellow, just really pops.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I've seen the real locomotives, and they're relatively close. I think it's a reasonable stand-in. People are probably going to flame me on that one.
You know what? I mean, are these for everybody? No.
No.
But I'll bet they're going to sell. The Rock Island one just looks cool on looks alone. I might just get it for that, and change the Rtr to my own train club's home road and do a Rock Island Heritage unit for them. Who knows?
Yeah, good point there. All right. Some East Coast.
Man, I cannot count the number of requests we've gotten for this one.
I think I've already seen it today on the comments fly past.
Yeah. Yeah, so these ran on the Piedmont, which was a state-sponsored train between the state of North Carolina and Amtrak. The initial power was 2 of these units. They have additional units now, but yeah, they're run by Amtrak crews, but the state owns the rolling stock, so it's pretty interesting.
Yeah, it's nice to see some of these more unique paint schemes.
Yeah, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I bet these can show up on regular Amtrak trains from time to time as well. I'm sure it has happened.
Yeah, I'm sure they get serviced in the same facilities as the rest of the Amtrak, so every once in a while I gotta make a trip back to the motherland. Another
And there's
commuter.
Metrolink.
Metrolink.
Yeah. Yeah, this is the as delivered paint scheme for those units. So it's been a while since we've done these, and definitely haven't done them with sound or LEDs before. So this would be a great option for people doing, Metrolink up until the mid to 2010 when they started getting the Rotom cars. But these pulled the Bombardier cars all day, so perfect for those.
Yeah, that's great. And those were when did we announce Bombardier cars?
It was a little while ago. I think they should be here in a few months. So if you need something to pull them,
yeah,
those would be perfect.
If you change your mind, talk to your retailer and see if they've got any unspoken units on order that you can grab. All these RTR F59s are going to be offered in DCC ready, and with the sound option being an economy decoder from Soundtracks. That'd be cool. Next offering, FMC 60-foot high cube. These are
nice.
Cool box cars.
I like that UP Prime for Grime. That's really interesting.
Yeah, so this was originally a Union Pacific prototype box car. And we've got the Prime for Grime with the stencil repaint of the logo. So that's something you don't see every day. As well as the more traditional UP yellow there. My personal favorite, the Milwaukee Road and the Pullman yellow. We've got some Grand Trunk Western there for you. UP brown. Kind of see the CP rail peeking out there.
Yeah.
There's the Western Pacific.
There's the Western Pacific. Cool. So you got West Coast, and you got Central, and you got Canada. These things are all over the place. A lot of 1970s, 1980s, even 1990s, so a good mix of eras too.
Yeah. It's been my experience. These are pretty good running cars. If you like the look of the big long cars, but you still have some smaller radiuses, these are a nice stand-in for those auto part trains or your big warehouse, appliance warehouse that's receiving box cars of freezers.
Nice. Yeah, they've got some decent underbody detail with the brake rigging and the visible air lines there. It looks really good. The etched crossover platforms as well.
Yeah, separate grab irons. A lot of details for an RTR car.
Yeah, definitely.
Here's a throwback to the past. 62-foot tank car in RTR.
Yeah, these have been around for a while, but I still think I see a couple of them here and there. Maybe not with the walkways, but similar looking cars even today.
And when I say throwback, I literally mean throwback, because these are liveries that were available back in the day from Atherton when these came as a kit.
Yeah, that's true, huh?
But of course, we're applying new artwork in the fidelity and sharpness that people are used to today. So these are going to look so much better than those original cars.
Yeah, the quality of the printing that they can do these days, it's so much better. I noticed that the ACF one probably needs to be flipped before we send that over to the factory.
Yeah, you're not the only one that noticed that. I've seen a few folks mention that, but that's
well,
all right.
If you just flip the tank car, it's going to look fine. So,
Yeah. That's when you park next to the mirror in your staging yard to make it look longer.
It's designed specifically for staging yard mirrors.
Yes.
Oh, that's good. Oh, I like that Wisconsin and Southern. Is that like a maintenance of way car or possibly diesel fuel?
Yeah, that's definitely a maintenance away car. I actually saw that car in Janesville, Wisconsin, parked next to the roundhouse for a while. So it did exist. It's not a completely made up.
Very cool. All right.
All right. Singles and 3-packs. Get a entire tank train of these guys.
Yeah, I'll try and go.
Another thing we're doing in singles and 3-packs are the 60-foot bulkhead flats. I think every time we sell them, they go faster than we expect. This is one of those cars that people just can't have enough of.
Yeah, it seems to be the case. They seem to run in sets too in on the prototype world.
Yeah.
So you got 3 different road numbers there with the 3-pack for a total of 6 different numbers on each car. And
Clubbing and
I like
color.
that. The PG&E, I like that paint scheme too. The two-tone green is nice.
Two-tone green, that's sharp, yeah. And being a Milwaukee Road fan myself, a lot of their bulkheads received brown later in life. Later in their Milwaukee Road life, I should say. They far outlasted the actual Milwaukee Road. Trailer Train yellow.
Got to have Trailer Train. And then more Western Pacific. Man, we got a lot of good WP stuff. And Milwaukee, for that matter.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Very cool.
What did I say? August 27th deadline. If you're finding anything you like, make sure you talk to your retailer before August 27th. So now we're in the roundhouse offerings, the 40-foot single sheath box car.
Yeah, something a little bit different, maybe a little bit different era than most of what we talked about. These cars, the paint schemes you see here, these are late 1920s, early 1930s era paint schemes, but these could be around until the 50s and 60s easily. But the cool thing about these cars is the sliding door that actually opens and closes. Especially good for kids, people that want to load their cars. You can play a joke on your friend and put something random inside his box car while his train goes by.
It's perfect for a little hobo.
Yeah, true. Yeah. Good point. And then you got that SP car is the 1954 date on it. So, I mean, those things have been around for a while at that point and still in service, the Texas and New Orleans being an SP subsidiary.
Yeah, I must have been pushing their FRA license there on,
Oh, yeah.
unless they went to captive service. And
Very possible that they did.
And I know I've seen a lot of these cars end up as tool sheds alongside yards, alongside offices.
Yeah, or maybe bunk cars, kitchen cars, tool cars for maintenance away. You see those a lot too. Cool.
So those are available in 3 single numbers. So no multi-packs there, but you can still collect a few without having to renumber them.
Yeah, no, that's always nice.
Another product I had as a kid growing up, the Roundhouse exterior post reefer.
I remember I had a lot of the Pacific Fruit Express cars. Well, I thought I had a lot. I probably had like 7 of them, and I was like, oh man, check out my reefer block. But no, they're a neat car. Sort of a transitional car between the 40-foot steel ice reefers and then the bigger 57-foot and beyond mechanical reefers that came later. So this is a 1960s, 1970s era car for the most part. There's the PFE cars. Can't have enough of those. I notice we're doing 4-packs as well, so that should be more than enough to build up a decent train of these.
Yeah, with a 4-pack there and 2 individual numbers, you can up your train to 13 cars.
Nice. Someone's asking for CP with the Pac-Man logo for the next time. Sure. If you got some photos, definitely send them our way. We got that email, suggestions. The full email's on the website, but definitely send us your ideas. We do read the emails. We do take the ideas seriously. If you got any suggestions.
Yeah, I read those almost every day. It's kind of a fun diversion from counting rivets, which is what I usually do every day. And yeah, every once in a while I like to respond to folks too, let them know that, yeah, that's a great idea, and hey, yeah, we're working on that, you know. Stay tuned.
Cool. All right, what else we got cooking up here?
A staple train set that was out there, the 3-dome tank car.
Another old school one, yeah. You gotta love the wine car. I mean, that's who doesn't like a good wine car?
Yeah, I mean, with the 3 domes, you can have your white, red, and rosé all delivered in one scoop.
I wonder if that's how they actually were used. If anyone knows in the comments, let me know. But yeah, these are good cars. They're coming in 4-packs as well as the 2 singles. So you got a lot of numbers available. Good mix of eras too. You got 1928 up to the 1950s for the DuPont there.
The Soto chemical and kind of that PC Central jade green there. That's cool. It's always nice to get some diversity in colors. You know, tank cars weren't always black or white.
Yeah, that sort of jade green, that's a color that seemed to be everywhere in the 50s, 40s, and 60s. But I don't see any cars painted like that anymore in that color. That's too bad.
Yeah. All right, so. And for those train set folks, these are a 15-inch radius car.
Nice. That's pretty tight. You can put some pretty tight trackage on 15-inch radius.
Mm-hmm. Or if you're trying to squeeze in a small oil distribution industry, you can cheat and make the curves. The radius is a little tighter to get it in there.
That's always a consideration when you're working with like a Fremo module, is running out of space for your industry.
All right.
So we got some Northeastern Cabooses, huh?
Yeah. And these are kind of a Reading and Conrail prototype car. Not an exact match. That's why it's in the Roundhouse line. But very close to those, the Reading and Conrail prototype four-window cabooses. And, as those companies dissolved and merged and whatnot, these cars got passed around. So we got the Cnw there in the green and yellow scheme. It's very cool. Yeah. L&N in that sharp gray. Can I say a gray paint scheme is good looking, or is that?
Sure. Think of Illinois Central box cars. It's not a car you expect to see on a caboose, though. That's definitely out of left field there.
Yeah. Then there's that Penn Central green.
Yep, that's of course that nice big green.
Reading, another attractive green and yellow. And we can't forget Western Maryland and their circus paint scheme.
That's always one of my favorites. The way they mask that off just looks great. If you get on an Alco, FA, or an SD40 or a caboose. All right.
I think we have something a little bit smaller next, if I remember correctly.
You're getting down to the N scale stuff? All right.
Yeah.
N scale guys, you can take your earplugs out now.
Have you missed the N scale? Only if you're not going to listen to us now. So obviously these are going to look similar to the HO versions, but being an end, we got a much smaller body to work with. But I see with sound listed on these guys.
Yeah, these will come with either DCC ready or with the Tsunami 2 sound encoder, which is going to really make them sound a lot bigger than they actually are when you're holding the model in your hand. I've been getting a lot of requests, I don't know about you, John, for N-scale surfliners. And, I think we want to see how these HO scale ones do for us. They've been doing pretty well so far, but I think N-scale could be something we would do in the future, especially since we already have the engines.
Yeah, it would be a great offering to have for sure. It's a hard business case sometimes to make for N scale. The tooling for an N scale product is almost the same as an HO scale product. And we want to make sure if we're going to do an N scale product that there's going to be enough interest in it that we can cover those tooling costs. Because yeah.
Good point. Yeah, good point. Because the tooling is not cheap for these projects,
especially at the detail level we want to do.
Oh yeah, I mean N scale cars, they've still got to have interiors. Probably still need to do lights, at least on the cab cars. All the different car body differences on the inside as well.
Yeah, you'll have to be a little bit more gentle when you flush the toilet on N scale. So the Surfliner, the B-Track Smart.
This might be the first time for some of these paint schemes in N scale, like that that early CDTX. I'm not sure if we've ever offered it before in 1/60th. Same for the CDTX, not the CDTX, the NC dot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there should be no surprise coming up the next couple pages, because these are duplicates of the HL version. We'll be doing the CNW Heritage, the Milwaukee Heritage, and the Rock Island Heritage, the latter being legendary liveries here as well.
Yeah.
Sharp units.
Yeah, I love the way they did those stripes.
It's a lot of scrolling.
There it is.
There it is.
The NC dot, the Metrolink. We do have the cars for the Metrolink.
Yeah. Cool.
And I picked that 874 too. That one actually never got repainted at all up until it was retired in 2019. So that's a pretty long service life to not get a paint job. It was looking pretty trash towards the end.
That's great.
Yeah, good stuff. Probably have a couple more N-scale cars coming up too, right?
I believe so.
Yeah, the LPG tank cars.
Yeah, it's amazing the detail on these. It's
I was just gonna say the wire handrails, the separate ladders. You got all the brake detail, just like the HO scale one, almost. It's a really nice car.
Yeah, those are going to look sharp, and those N scalers with all that extra room. they're going to be the ones that are buying the 3-packs here.
You got to buy twice as many to fill up the same space. Yeah.
There we go, guys.
Look at that. Waiting for the screen to move again.
Yeah.
So I think today is, correct me if I'm wrong, the last day to technically order the Surfliners.
I think you're right.
Being that it's Friday. Yeah.
If you're on the fence thinking, man, I don't have any F-59s to pull those. Or I missed the first run of the P-42s. Now you know they're coming as well. And this was this is a cool ad that's starting to run. This was a throwback to an early Athearn ad when they introduced the RDCs.
Yeah, you know, Athearn hasn't really been known for its passenger cars over the years, but it's sort of cool to tie it all together with an RDC and Surfliner cars coming out now, both being cars with a cab control compartment on each end, or at least one end.
Yeah. Well, that's August for us.
That's it, huh?
Yeah. The only other thing that's happening in August is if anyone has any of those SD60M Triclops, the repair kit packages are in the warehouse right now, and they are just about ready to ship. There's going to be a website, a web page off of the Athearn website where people can find more details on what went wrong with that locomotive, what we've done to correct it for future and for these locomotives, and then what we're going to offer in terms of how to fix the units that are out there. It's pretty easy. For a lot of people, it takes me about 2 to 4 minutes, start to finish.
I watched the video. It didn't seem like it was terribly complicated, and I'm not the world's most renowned scratch builder or modeler, so if I can handle it, I think some people could.
Yeah. So that'll be coming in August. All these new products, go talk to your retailers.
Yeah, stay tuned for the
Great
details there,
offerings.
especially. Yeah.
And wish Jim could join us, but he's having more fun than the two of us combined.
Yeah, we all wish we were there with him, but he's out there fighting the good fight. And thanks a lot, guys, for tuning in today. Thanks for putting up with us. I had a great time going over all that cool stuff. Going to end up buying a bunch of F-59s, I think.
Yeah, paycheck in, paycheck out. All right. Well, everybody take care, and we'll see you next time.
All right. Have a good one, guys.
Bye.
Bye.